Let's get this party started. Nostrovia.
He was full of piss and vinegar back in those days. I know you think you're the greatest arm in the history of mankind.
Because who doesn't like beers?
Marcus said, look me right in the eye, and I said, you got 40 in you tonight? He said, I got as many as you need me to get.
I don't know if I ever told you this, but he's the reason I stay here.
He just went,
No, it ain't that hard, Stephen. It ain't that hard.
hey, no. And then here we are. So we could only have meetings for like 30 minutes because he had the attention span of the common pissant. He's a dude. People ask me a lot of times, like, what's Steve Spurrier's best attribute? Good times, man. It was good times. You guys are awesome, man.
It was the best times. Tailgate Talks is proudly presented by our title sponsor, Green's Beverages, South Carolina's go-to spot for all things beer, wine, and spirits. Looking for something refreshing, uplifting, and a little different? Delta THC seltzers deliver a crisp, bubbly taste paired with a perfect balance of relaxation and euphoria. Crafted for those who want a clean, modern alternative to alcohol, these seltzers are light, flavorful, and designed to fit seamlessly into any occasion. 20-minute onset, no sugar, no calories, and no hangover. There's 4 amazing flavors. We got blood orange, passion fruit, blueberry acai, and pink lemonade. Get these at your local Greens today. All right, Gamecock fans, this season we're raising a glass to bold flavors and even bolder conversations. Tailgate Talks is fueled by Bullet Bourbon, the official bourbon of backyard grills, pregame huddles, and postgame victory toast. Whether you're sipping it neat or mixing up Gamecock-style old-fashioned, Bullet's smooth finish keeps the tailgate vibes rolling. So pour one, press play, and let's talk some football. Bullet Bourbon, frontier whiskey for Gamecock Nation.
What's going on, Tailgaters? Glad you guys are joining us for another episode of Tailgate Talks with DeMarco and Garcia. He did last week solo, the entire episode with AJ McCarron, so I'm just here solo just for the intro. So I got the easy part. But wanted to recap this past weekend because we had a really big weekend here in Columbia. The Gamecocks fell just short of Alabama, almost had a 2010 kind of repeat. Number 4 team in the country comes here. Man, how close. How awesome did we play until the last 4 or 5 minutes. But it was cool to see the offense kind of get in the stride. Lenore's played a much more confident football game. Our defense was absolutely on fire. I want to say Alabama only had like 200 yards of total offense until those last 2 drives. Obviously, the fumble and letting them score, and there's some stuff there at the end of the game which was just a little weird. And obviously, hindsight's always 20/20. But you can't be upset with the Gamecocks playing their best football game of the year, in my opinion. So I think steps are going in the right direction. Obviously, a big matchup this week, heading to Oxford and playing Mississippi, the Fighting Lane Kiffins. But all in all, it was an awesome weekend. We had the Letterman's Golf Tournament, so I'm sure a lot of listeners probably played in that. We had 47 teams, so a bunch of guys had a big night. We went to Steel Hands for our happy hour of the 2010 reunion on Friday night, followed by Stephen and I hosted a tailgate. Thanks to some of our sponsors, we had Bullet Bourbon, we had Home Team Barbecue, and we had Steel Hands who came in clutch for us and donated some stuff for our tailgate. We had around 30 guys from that 2010 team showed up, and then obviously we were the celebrity starter pregame, which was really cool to have our families and stuff out there. But this week's episode was with a guy that meant a lot to Stephen and I. He coached me for a year, coached Stephen for 2 years, G.A. Mangus, quarterback's coach, play caller, glorified offensive coordinator under Coach Spurrier, played under him at Florida. A guy that has stories galore. We could have recorded for hours and hours with him, and it was really cool to dive into that relationship with Coach Spurrier, the dynamic of the staff during that time when he was here at Carolina. Obviously, the relationship with him and Stephen, and then him and Connor, him and Dylan, Coach Spurrier's exit in that season. So a lot of really cool stuff, really, really cool insights and stories that I think you guys are all going to really enjoy. So tune in for this week's episode with G.A. Mangus, and don't forget to watch us on YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, do all the social media things that I say every week. But Stephen and I are really enjoying doing these shows and reconnecting with our former coaches, former teammates, current guys, just people that love the Gamecock. So appreciate y'all supporting us, and hopefully you enjoy this week's episode.
All right, well, cheers. Yep.
Let's get this party started.
Just Philadelphia.
Good to see you, boys.
That's a good delivery. All right, well, yeah, go ahead and start us off, man.
Join here with a guy who's been a big part of our lives for the last 15 years, coached us up, has been mentoring us kind of ever since. Appreciate you joining us, Coach Mangus.
Good to see you guys. Glad to be here.
On his wife's birthday.
I know.
Unbelievable. Taking the time.
Usually when I see Coach Mangus, he is 3 to 4 shots better than me on a golf course somewhere. So good to see you out of that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Don't ever let a DeMarco tell you there's shots. I went to school with your uncle. Trust me.
He's a sing, though.
Yeah. I'll take plenty of shots from him. I will take 10 shots from him, though. I might be able to get him right
Take
now.
him to the cleaner right now?
Yeah, I might be able to get him right now.
Well, what are you doing now?
Coaching over at Brooklyn Casey High School. My buddy Lewis Clyburn took a job over there in March. He took a job in March over there, and we go way back. He's a Camden, South Carolina guy. Played at Duke, actually recruited by Coach Spurrier, and he was fraternity brothers with Junior.
Okay.
And so he used to work camp when I was coaching at Florida, kind of getting my career started. He used to come down and work camp all the time, so I got to know him pretty well. And so he called me in March and said, "Hey, I think I'm going to get this job. Can I get you out of semi-retirement and off the golf course?" And I got both my kids now. Hope is a freshman at Carolina, and Grace is 2 semesters left in the nursing program.
Yeah.
And so
Where the hell
I said, you know what? I know, dude. I know. Well, I mean, Memphis is getting ready to graduate.
I'm saying it's honestly scary.
I see all the Patch kids running around all over the place. You know, he's got like a
Screwing Columbia out.
Yeah, I mean, golly, you got your hands full, man. God dang. I'm glad those days are over. So I'm an empty nester now, so I can't drink beer and play golf every damn day. So
Try to now.
nah,
I mean, you can.
eventually, but I'm too young to retire. I still like developing and coaching kids and developing kids.
You're training quarterbacks.
I have been doing that. Yeah, I've been, ever since the XFL when COVID hit, and that was, and I've had a lot of good jobs and worked for a lot of good people and coached a bunch of great people like you, but the XFL was a hell of a deal. I mean, that was 4 months and 8 months off, no recruiting. I said, damn, if I knew pro football was like this, I'd have done this a long time ago. I had a ball doing it, and it like I tell people all the time, COVID screwed up a lot of people's lives and a lot of people's jobs. But for me personally, that was the best job, that I really ever had. And it was fun and it was cool. And that level was still, those kids were still trying to make it back and get their ticket back. Some of them, had gotten cut and they wanted to get back. And some of them we kind of took the young route and took guys that needed maybe 1 or 2 more years. And I enjoyed that because they were getting after it. So it was kind of a combination of college kids and pro kids, and I really enjoyed that. So once COVID hit and we didn't come back, and Vince sold it, I talked Shane McMahon and all that. They got rid of it, so kind of took what we were doing, and I said, you know what, let's start developing some kids. So I started coaching some kids and all kind of positions, and we got a Apex over here in town, and we started developing kids, and now we're doing pro training for NFL combines, and we've been doing that now for 3 years. And this year we had like 11 kids in it, 11 guys in it, and I got an O lineman I was training, and he's starting up in Toronto in Canada, and he was a center at East Carolina, good player, and so we're going to continue to grow that. And I know you're doing some, interested in some of that stuff too. So maybe we can work together down the line. But it's fun. I enjoy that. I still like the development, coaching and developing kids. It just seems
Keeps in the game.
yeah, and it's good. And then now with this high school, I got a young quarterback that's sophomore, and he's going to be a really good player.
Whose parents own Steelhands.
Yep. And Andrew Frick, and he was over at, his brother actually played for me. While the training was going on, I ended up starting to coach high school football, and I'd never coached high school football, So I went to Heathwood with my buddy Danny Lewis.
Yeah.
Who's now at Citadel. And we had a ball. And Wilfred, his brother, played safety for us and was my backup quarterback. So I've known the family and I started training him when he was young. And I think he's got a chance, about 6'4".
Yeah.
He's got a chance. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be a Garcia, but he'll be pretty good. He's got a chance to be pretty good. Yeah. Who knows? We'll see. He's just a young buck right now, starting to shave. So
I did want to get your input on the COVID conspiracy, but we'll talk off air, Alan.
yeah.
Take us back to playing under Coach Burger in Gainesville at Florida and what that was like. I mean, we were with him, I guess, 20-something years after you experienced, so he was a little more seasoned with us, but
Yeah.
tell us what he was like back then.
Well, yeah, he was full of piss and vinegar back in those days. He was. I mean,
I can only imagine.
I'll tell you, it was great. It was what we needed. Having because I was older. I was going into I had 2 years left when he came, so I was there in the Galen Hall, whom I love, Coach Hall.
Yep.
Galen Hall's awesome, man. I love him, and how amazingly how it works. Who knew many years later, and he in the middle of the 1989 season, we were playing in Baton Rouge, and we Arden Krzyzewski, my good buddy and kicker on our team, he kicked field goal, and we beat him in Baton Rouge. And then he announced that night, that's my last game, and he's done. And all years later, when I got the Delaware Valley head job, I was the 8th youngest head coach in the NCAA. I think I was 33. Yeah. How about that? And so I got the job, and I asked the president, and I said, but we were having a beer later on, and I said, hey, by the way, I said, what'd you hire me for? I curiosity. I said, when it came down to all the people applying for jobs, et cetera, he goes, you know who gave you the compliment and said that I needed to hire you? And I said, who? And he said, Galen Hall. Mm. And he said, we grew up together, went to elementary school together out in Central PA. And I said, there's living proof that you don't burn those bread. You never know. Don't ever. And I love me some Coach Hall, and it just kind of ran its course and all that kind of stuff. But when Coach came in, we had a good team. We had good players, and he just had that piss and vinegar, like I said, and the
He still does.
And just the confidence that we're gonna and you believe it. You believe it.
Do you think that his coaching style, I wanted to ask you this yesterday, bro. Yeah. I want to do it here. Do you think his coaching style would work in today's age with NIL and the transfer portal? Because I'm telling you right now, if I'm playing for you guys and he's talking shit like that he was, I'm out of here.
Yeah, no. Well, I think all those guys that age group, I think they all see it. I don't think anybody knew what it was going to be today. I surely didn't. I mean, even just in the last 5 years. I mean, since
completely changed.
But I think those guys all kind of had a sense as it was going. Because remember, we had the cost of attendance. Remember when we started paying you guys whatever the hell we were paying you?
We didn't get paid shit.
We were at $42 a weekend or $43 a weekend.
Yeah, okay.
If
So
we went
I
into
know
everything.
you did. Well, then after you guys were done, right after that, pairing that, they started the cost of attendance, and that was all bullshit.
Get like a $6,000 or $8,000 check every semester.
It was all in how they came up with the how do you come up with that number? Auburn. Well, our flights are expensive and all. We don't have an airport. And they're giving them this, and I'm recruiting a kid, and they're going, Coach, I'm getting $4,000 from Auburn, and I'm only getting $2,800 from you. And I'm like, well, then if $1,200 changed your life, go to friggin' Auburn. I don't give a shit. Whatever. I was already getting sick of it. I'm a fairly young dude, So I think those guys saw it coming, and
when you got,
but yeah, you can't. But that's also a problem in general. I mean, where we're at now. I mean, as soon as you have some constructive criticism and they're going to transfer, right. I mean, it's a fine line, man. It's a screwed up. It's a great profession, shitty business. Yeah, that's what it's become. It's a shame.
Yeah, I mean, in the NFL at the highest professional level, the players make more than the coaches. But now you're at the college level, and that's not true. Yeah. On many fronts at all, I'd say more. Almost every single meeting room, there's probably a player making equal to what the coach is making.
Sure.
In college.
At 18 to 22 years old.
Absolutely.
And they got agents, they have middlemen, they have,
Well, and you don't know what you don't know. Like when you get to the NFL, like it's your first time ever really having any money and like more confidence. know these things, but imagine like at 23 years old, but imagine that at 18 years old, we walk in. And
Well, that's it. I said the whole time. But you look how many people, all the stories out there of professional athletes that played for many years and they're broke, got two nickels to rub together. Yeah. Now we think it's smart to go give millions of dollars to an 18-year-old. Yep. You know, who's making those decisions? I mean, they're idiots. Yep. And it's just I have no problem. I think absolutely 100% players should get paid. Yeah. I've always said that. I've always been on Coach Spurrier's side. Coach Spurrier always said that. He was always a proponent of players getting some money. But now, you know, and then they still want to sell you the student athlete. No, it's not. It's just, it's not, don't give me the student athlete. That ended when you started one and dones in basketball. Right. But they didn't, you know, it was not a problem for basketball, but then all of a sudden in football, when, you know, they wanted to pay, and then here we are. So it's just nuts. It's nuts. But, you know, the pro game, I get it, but and I'm with you on that. But what I liked about the pro game, you guys made more money than the coaches. But there was a standard in the players, because if you could help them get to the next contract, that's what I loved about pro football. You're going to find out whether you can coach or not in pro football, because those players are going to come in and if you can't help them get to the next contract, they're going to go tell the owner, and they're going to say he can't coach, and then guess what? You're fired. Yeah. And what I enjoyed about that was the fact that we were helping them get to the next contract, and you got you know, justified by the players, and I like that. I like the whole alpha male version of it. Yeah. You know?
There's a lot of coaches out there that don't know balls.
Hell, I know a bunch of them. Hell, I mean, it's awful.
It is.
Look at your contact us and
call them out. Call them out right now. Yeah, and it's a coach's brotherhood, right? They kind of tag along and just slowly make the weeds, but. Yeah, when you get a coach that really knows ball and respects the players and has some playing experience too, like it is a whole different ball game. You trust that guy with your life.
Absolutely.
And he sees what you see. You know exactly what he's saying before he even says it. So it's a whole different ball game. And I mean, I was lucky I had two guys that did it at a high level too. So
absolutely,
very easy to respect guys like that.
No, 100%. Yeah, it 100% is easy to respect. I mean, I think we were talking about that the other day. It's like it's so much easier to respect a coach that's actually been there, done that. You obviously with Coach Spurrier, I mean, because I don't know if I ever told you this, but he's the reason I stay here.
Okay.
So he came down to Jefferson, or no, not Jefferson. Was it Jefferson?
It was Jefferson, because I was recruiting for Middle Tennessee State. Yeah. When I got hired, Coach called me and finalized it. I was in Tampa recruiting for Middle at the time.
And you came down to
Jefferson. And I had a chance to go. Ron Zook was at Illinois at the time, and I had Brett Bielema was up, and there was guys were all. So I knew I was leaving Middle.
Yeah.
And Coach called me there, and I, you know, getting a chance to come back and work for him again was. And it went down in Tampa that night. Yeah. And then I called him, and he was in town. That was right after the Iowa bowl game. It was in January of
No, it was an absolute shit show. I'm going back and forth with
you know. And so I pulled his ass in there, and it had not been announced yet. And I said, "Hey, come up here to." You know, and I had seen him, and I had been recruiting the school. I mean, we knew each other, knew of each other, of course. But I knew at Middle I wasn't going to sign him. You know, there wasn't even a waste of my time. You know, I threw out some bullshit offer. You know, just knowing he was never
here.
Yeah. You got a scholarship at Middle Tennessee State, buddy. Yeah. And but I knew he wasn't coming. But you got to do that, you know, because I signed a ton of kids of his teammates. You know, tons of kids. But I came up before it got announced because I wanted to go back and make sure, you know, that stock, you know, I worked for Rick, and Rick was an awesome guy to work for. And I wanted to make sure Rick, you know, knew and all that. And of course I called him, but I grabbed him and said, all right, listen, we're going to meet back up, but we're going to have to get some shit straight here now. and understand and kind of get a feel of how it was. And he was young, you know, you know, that game was a total shit show, obviously. And so it was fun to be in Tampa and you know, whether I was allowed to do that, not that I give a shit, but whether I was allowed to do that.
I think there's limitations.
Yeah, exactly. I could care less. So, but it was a good conversation, and he was really excited about it, and I was excited about it. I'm like, you know, I get a chance to go, you know, coach what I know is a good player, and that need some development, need some players. So it was fun.
Because I was 5 toes out. I mean, I was ready to. Yeah, and I know, and me and Pat talked about, the loyalty, and, I didn't want to leave South Carolina. I had no intention to leave Intro. But after that year, and, I get suspended a couple of times, get in trouble with us, there's a bunch of different shit happens. I was ready to haul ass, and then, I'll never forget that conversation. You were like, hey, I'm coming to South Carolina. I'm going to coach you up. I'm going to coach your ass hard. I'm going to show you what to do. Let's get this thing done. I was like,
and I think, too, when I got there, living with him, I was a big proponent of that.
I think everybody does.
everybody but me.
As a matter of fact, going by Olympia, I think about that all the time because I saw you. I was like, damn, look, you got the high ceilings in here. This place is nice, man. And when they had just turned it into student living or apartments, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that was a good thing and a good mentor and all that, and and I think it worked, between you and me, and I was the buffer,
Now, you needed another voice of reason in that room. Coach Spurrier was obviously going to be super hard on you and very critical, but you needed somebody that was going to be supportive and push you in that way, but just another way to get Coach Spurrier's wording across to you.
100%. But he was significantly better at announcing or
being crazy. That's aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, there was time. I mean, as you well know, I mean, there's times there was definitely, ripping his ass at times.
How about when I told you to relax?
Yeah.
Please tell that story.
Oh my God. I forgot what the hell it was. It was maybe like a Wednesday practice, and I was like, Coach, relax. You tell the rest of the story.
No, you tell it.
I've never seen anybody's face get
Vain.
more redder.
That
Don't you ever tell me to relax. I will beat your ass. I'm like,
the thing, you're like, okay, man. She said,
my bad, dude.
I just chill. Don't relax, chill.
I didn't no trouble, man. I don't want any trouble. Jesus. I mean, I think Coach Spurrier was like, hey, Coach Mangus, relax.
Oh yeah.
He told me to relax.
Yeah, I ain't relaxing. Damn it. Unbelievable.
But it was so you got there. Was it just Stephen, and did you give you a smelly too?
No, they had just left. So he left in January. They were all on their way out when I got hired in January, and that was we all got Fitzy, myself, Whammy. I mean, it was a wholesale change on the staff in that January of 2009.
Yep.
And so Smelly was on he left and transferred to Alabama, right?
To baseball.
Yep, exactly.
Baseball.
Reed was still here.
Yep.
Aramis was still here.
Brandeis.
Brandeis was still.
Talk about a quarterback.
Yeah, it was.
Friggin'
and Cliffy,
God bless you.
And so we had an extra scholarship, and I remember taking Coach down there, and he goes, hell, I know Clifford. His uncle coaches there, and PK Young or whatever school he was at back in the day in Gainesville, and he could throw it now. I mean, Cliffy was ripping it around in Tampa, throwing it, and so we had lost 2 or 3 quarterbacks transfers, so we just needed to get another body in the room, and he goes, yeah, who's the best? And I go, wow, Clifford's the best quarterback down here in Tampa right now.
Oh shit!
When he was here on his official visit, when he took his OV, I was his host. He wore his Letterman jacket or his high school jacket.
Yeah.
Both nights that we went out, and he rolled back the second night wearing it. So we're like, you gotta take it off. Leave the jacket alone. He goes, but I promised my girlfriend on her mouth.
Yes, that's right. The girlfriend.
I'm like, well, you're not supposed to have a girlfriend this weekend either. So shoot. Stop it.
Exactly.
So he's gonna bitch about this on this episode. I promise you that. No, but then then obviously we had Connor.
Yeah,
Connor came in.
Yeah, the last year I did that. He was one, and I was already recruiting him, and it was an easy one because J-Bo's brother was committed to me at Middle Tennessee State.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. I had J. That's how it all. So like I knew Connor when he was in ninth grade.
So it was all in the works behind my back.
Nah, it wasn't in the works. I knew. So J-Bo was coming to play for me, and they fired Chan Gailey, or Chan left. They hired Paul Johnson. Chan had offered him as a athlete.
Mm-hmm.
and J-Bo wanted to play quarterback. So he stayed committed. Well, then Paul came in and he said, no, I'm going to let you play quarterback in the option. And he called me, oh, man, it's like breaking up with a girlfriend. And I said, G.A. Mangus, 1986, Walton High School. I'm committed to Middle Tennessee State. Georgia Tech offers me at the last minute. I'm breaking up with my girlfriend in Middle Tennessee and going, take your ass to Georgia Tech. Yeah. I said, good for you, and I'll pull for you. I love you, man. Yeah. But we were sitting in there, and he would tell you this. I was in the home visit with J-Bo, and I sat there, and of course his dad, Coach Shaw, big Coach Shaw, and we'd sit there, and he said, yeah, what do you think? You seen my brother play? And at this time, he was playing wide receiver. He wasn't even playing quarterback. He was playing VB and wide receiver. And he had to wait his turn. And I said, well, I'll have to have another job for him.
Yep.
And J-Bo kind of looked at me funny. He goes, are you? And they're very competitive brothers, and all that. And he goes, serious? And I go, oh, no question. I said, he's going to be way better than you.
You're right.
That went over well.
You're right.
So we beat Florida. I think it was after the Florida game when Connor dove and scored a touchdown down there in the north end zone. Or whatever, the zone down in that end zone on the left. And after the game was over, Lee, his dad, and J-Bo were sitting out there, and J-Bo, he was like a junior at this point, I think. And J-Bo put his arm around me, and he goes, hey, you remember when you were in the home visit, and you told me that he was going to be better than me? You were right. Yeah. You were right. And I said, well, I knew I was right then. I said, I wasn't lying to you, But I said, you're a hell of a player. And he was, and J-Bo was a heck of a player. He really was. But,
I'll tell you what, me and Connor have a little inside joke. Cliff and Seth Strickland and a couple of other guys. So his visit, Connor's visit, I forgot who his. I think Cliff was actually his host.
Probably, yep. I can see that.
Because you guys didn't let me host anybody, but you wanted to make sure that they came to my house.
They were at our party.
It's a party, yeah,
of course,
yeah. But I remember seeing
probably a good
house. But I remember seeing Connor, and he'll tell you this story. I was like, "You lose a bet or something?" He's like, I'm talking to him. I was like, shake your head, buddy. Your head, right? You shaved your head? You do that on purpose? He's like, yeah, man. I was like, oh, okay. I was just curious. Hey, guess what? If you come to South Carolina, you're going to be part of the unique fraternity. He's like, I was 3 seats to the wind at that point.
Certainly Tober.
But I was like, yeah, man, you're going to be a part of the unique fraternity. The worst quarterbacks in South Carolina history. Come to find out, he's the mess. Yeah. So he'll tweet something, and every single time I see him tweet, unique fraternity.
Yeah.
No matter what it is.
Yeah.
It could be like, oh man, he just had his little thing. I'll post a little video, unique fraternity.
There you go.
Hey man, North Carolina, unique fraternity.
Yeah, well, that's good to know. Yeah, that was fun. We had a good room, man.
Oh yeah,
you guys were all, you guys are all talented in your own ways, and it just
extremely competitive.
Yes.
Yeah, it was. Well, you guys were good.
I hated Connor.
Yeah, you guys were good teammates, and you competed against each other, but it made all of you better.
Yeah,
and it made everybody.
He hated me, I hated him, and
but you worked your ass off.
Oh, absolutely. But he saw what Coach Spurrier said to me, and he's like, all right, I'm not going to do what he's doing.
Right.
I'm going to, I'll wear a collar shirt. I'll shave my head. I'll shave my beard.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Well, you did shave your head for the NC State game.
It was Georgia. Oh, he was going to play me.
No, I'm talking about the very first game in 2009 when you went to the buzz cut when we played NC State when Russell Wilson was there.
Oh, that's right.
You had the buzz cut, and I go, see, look at you, man. You actually
remembers everything.
I'm gonna pour another
all
burger.
the coaches.
Yeah, well, it's an elephant. We have a mind like an elephant. Don't kid yourself. And if I need to pull the picture out, I'll pull it out. You had a shaved head, dude.
I know.
Well, it wasn't baller. You didn't look like a skinless cat like Connor, but you man.
No, I know.
But you did have a buzz.
That was one thing about Connor's, right? When Connor got here, he wanted your job the second he got on campus. He was like, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get that job. And I remember Fitz called out a couple freshmen in some of our workouts. I think we were doing a 5-10-5 with one of the competition drills. And Connor Shaw, who do you want? And he goes, Garcia, bring your ass up here. And he called out QB1 right off the bat. And I think you went 3 reps in a row because you won the first. And he like lined right back up, and he's like, "Noah, let's go again."
Yeah.
And then he won the second. I forget who won the third, but it was.
I think he won the third too, but I was like, I'm
literally
30 pounds heavier than you, man.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be beating my ass.
The competition ran high, and I think that's why.
Well, that's why it was a good room, man. And and even Dylan obviously needed development, but he was willing to do it.
Dylan
He
had the best season of the all three of them.
Absolutely.
I tell people that all the time. I said last I checked, single season, he's still thrown for more yards than anybody in the history of South Carolina.
He was the peacemaker, man. He sold.
Yeah, no, he was
battling.
He was.
Like,
But
He
Coach
was.
Spurrier making fun of Dylan's release his first 2 years.
Oh, you gonna be a peaker? He'd take his glasses and go, "You gonna be a peaker your whole life?" I used to. Now that even made me chuckle. And I couldn't show it on the field, but that was funny shit. Now that was
man,
a peaker.
The shit that he would say, hey, nobody likes a peaker. Nobody
Yeah,
likes a peaker.
exactly. Yeah, don't be a peaker, Dylan. That's bad.
I'll tell you,
That was true. Though.
I catch myself doing, the quarterback training. I catch myself saying stuff that he says way too often. It pisses me off.
Of course
It
you do.
It pisses me off.
It's so good that it makes me
I'm like,
so...
damn it, take your steps and throw the ball. They go,
Yeah,
Sorry, Coach.
I know. Take your steps.
don't do that.
No.
Take your steps and
Throw the ball.
Will you do what he does? Because I'm sure when your kids screw stuff up, you're like, just give me the damn ball. Let me show you how to do it.
Absolutely.
Just like Coach Berry used to do with this little this ball.
He's like, hey, shit, how do you grip this damn thing? Is he?
It ain't that hard, Stephen. It ain't that hard.
You ever thought about wearing a glove?
He loved
The
that.
Roethlisberger,
He wears a glove, you know.
I'll tell you what, man. I miss watching. I mean, I hated it when I was playing, but watching film and me having to sit shoulder to shoulder next to you, and I could just feel like the heat gradient because I knew I fucked up on a play, made a bad read or threw a pick. I could feel the heat. I'm like, oh man, I'm out of here. Hey, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be up and back.
And he'd probably
And
dad.
he'd fucking pause it.
Yeah.
Spurrier would pause it.
Exactly.
We talk a lot about defining moments when it comes to football.
One choice can change the entire outcome of a game or season.
Moments that seem small often make a substantial impact in the long run, and that is true in all facets of life.
Like whom you choose to bank with.
Picking the right bank can make a huge difference in finding success.
That's why you need to elevate your financial game with Founders Federal Credit Union. Their rates are always competitive, and they've got trusted financial tools that help keep your financial goals on track.
Don't forget their service to their membership and community is unrivaled.
Get in the game today. Swing by a Founders office near you or visit foundersfcu.com to apply for membership. Founders is federally insured by the NCUA. Membership qualification is required. Looking for the perfect spot to unwind? Steelhead Brewing in Casey has you covered. Whether you're craving a refreshing craft beer or just a great time with friends and family, Steelhands has it all. With a variety of craft beers, spacious outdoor beer gardens, and a delicious food menu, there's something for everyone. Plus, join them for free live music every Thursday through Sunday. Visit steelhandsbrewing.com to see their lineup of upcoming events or host your own. Handforce and Casey and voted Best Local Brewery again this year. Go visit steelhandsbrewing.com. Hey Gamecocks, at Granger Rowings, style starts with you. From custom fits to emerging brands, they offer a curated selection of women's and men's clothing for work, weekends, and every moment in between. Their stylists take the time to understand your lifestyle, then help you build a wardrobe that fits your needs and feels like you. Shop in store, downtown on Main Street and Trenton Plaza, or book a fitting online at grangerowings.com. Granger Owings, where personal style meets personal service. What was the wildest? Tell us a couple recruiting stories. I mean, it's a lot of shit y'all had to go through and do.
Well, it was very different back in those days. That's what you hit it
Was
on.
it?
Well, now it's
No,
just.
in terms of
Hey,
it was
G.A.,
very.
you want to come play for us?
Yeah, no, it was very personal.
Yeah.
It was family. Then it started to change to the street agents.
Oh, yeah.
And this and that, and outsiders started getting there.
Everybody trying to-
When
yeah.
your age group, I mean, back in those days, recruiting,
Makes us feel real young.
but you like the high school coach, like his high school coach and I were buddies.
Yep.
God rest his soul.
Yep.
He died Fenton. But these guys now, sometimes the high school coach doesn't even know what the hell's going on anymore. Like, he's the last guy that's in the picture, which is a shame, you know, and I was good at it, and I liked it. I liked, coming to Tampa and having a round table we used to go to the heck is that bar? Right, not far from you, from Jefferson.
Charlie's.
Nah.
Burns.
It was one of the Brick House Tavern. So Brick House Tavern. So I used to come in there and make it easy on myself. I'd text all the coaches that were my buddies, and I'd say, "Hey, listen, I said, listen, 9 o'clock tonight. Let's go. We're gonna grab some beers at Brick House," and then they'd bring their stuff, and I'd get every information on all the kids in one stop.
That's good.
So I was a little smarter than most back in those days. I don't want to have to drive. Why drive to 9 schools when I could just have some beers and do it all in one stop shopping, right?
Yeah.
Because who doesn't like beers?
And so those guys in Tampa those guys were awesome. Those guys it was a lot of fun recruiting Tampa. Ace Sanders. Yeah. Obviously, there's one. His mom and Tracy, his dad, played at Florida State. He was the other Sanders opposite of Dion, playing corner. So we played against each other in college. And Mom owned it, and I love me some Mama Sanders now. They're still buddies of mine today. I think that's lost. That's sad. But now
I agree.
Now you don't have the relationships that you have, and
you start putting money into shit. And
that's what I'm saying. It screwed it all up. So back then it was
Clemson, boo.
And so we were waiting on so we were waiting on Florida State, to come in with him, and coach called him Little Ace. I took him down there and I said, we're not supposed to. I said, listen, he's a youngster. I said, but because who was a running back that was Manatee that came in 09? David Reeves had started recruiting him.
Jarvis Giles.
Jarvis. He was
Jarvis
Gaither.
Giles.
Gaither High School. Jarvis Giles.
Well, that's right. He was Gaither. That's right. You're right. So
God, I haven't heard that name.
Yeah, exactly. So I remember going
Jarvis
down. So when I got hired, I immediately took Coach down there, and we had to go see Jarvis. And then, matter of fact, I'm down there recruiting the next week because you saw him once a week. Coach goes, "Hey, you got to go." Speaking of good stories, so Coach calls and goes, "Hey, Penn State just visited Marcus. They told him we ain't gonna run the ball. All Spurrier wants to do is throw the ball." He says, "So you need to jump on a plane and fly up, and you need to do a home visit there and show them all the run all the stuff, all the stuff we're gonna do now. Running the ball and all that stuff." So I flew up there and did a visit with Marcus, and I'm like, just calm down. Like I use your line. Relax.
Just relax. Well, I mean, if he's getting recruited by Penn State, all you got to do is say, "Hey, have you heard of Sandusky?
Yeah.
You sure you want to go there?"
And then you had Auburn coming in, and Auburn, wanted to give him a car and all this stuff, and I'm like, "Dude, we're gonna give you the ball." I said, "Trust me, I'm gonna let you run."
It might be week 2 or 3.
Yeah, I said, "You're gonna run." I said, "I'm gonna give you the ball. I don't care. You're gonna get the ball, and here's what we're gonna do." Drew up all the runs, all that kind of stuff.
And now he's sitting there like, "Damn it, you gave me the ball too much."
Well, you know what? But I'll tell you this: in that 2010 game, I came in there in that locker room playing for the East, and I said, "Marcus, I grew up in my generation." I said, "When you play for a championship, you bring your defense and you bring your running game on the road. That's how you win."
Yep.
And I said, "Stevens, I'm only going to ask him to throw it somewhere around 20 times tonight." No, somewhere around 20. Well, that's what it was. When you threw it around 20 to 25, we were really good.
Yeah.
If we had to throw it 40, that means we were getting our ass beat.
Correct.
Probably.
Yeah.
So Marcus said, looked me right in the eye, and I said, "You got 40 in you tonight?" He said, "I got as many as you need me to get." And I think he carried it 41 times for 200 and something yards, and we whipped their ass. And
cut their ass.
Maybe. And so that was the kind of stuff. So that went back to that day, and Coach made the call on it and all that. And I don't think it was ever a big issue. I don't think he was ever going to go to Penn State,
I just think Coach wanted you to make sure we were front and center.
Yeah, but other than that, it was good, But going down there with Jordan, so Ace, and Ace was a baby at that point. He was like a sophomore, junior in 09. And I said, "Yeah, Coach, I've already offered, this kid. He's a freshman, and So he kind of came down to see Coach Joe in the deal, and he's like, Little Ace. As we're walking out of the school, he's going, boy, Little Ace. I said, Coach, he's a dude. He's a dude.
He can fly.
And so the next, a couple years later, boom, we come and Junior loved him. And
I remember his first workout. You were like, all right, we're gonna run a slant right here. Ace, get in the slot. We're gonna run a little one-step slant. I forgot who was covering. It might have been like Carlos Thomas. It was a veteran corner.
Watch this.
I was like, dude, he's not gonna get off the ball. He's like, okay, just take your steps and throw the ball.
Yeah.
I take a 3-step drop. He's already 15 yards out there. I'm like,
and shook him wide, and he's wide open. Yeah, he was something, and that was fun recruiting him though, because the relationship. I mean, you go to dinner, you get to know these people.
And now he's a high school head coach.
Yeah, and it's just been lost. That kind of stuff's just all been lost, and Demir Bird.
I was going to say, you're pretty incremental in getting Jersey, kind of the Northeast became a
well, it wasn't. I told
force.
Coach, I just said, listen, I was a head coach up there in college. I know all those high school guys, and I said, listen, you drive around campus here, there's Maryland, Pennsylvania, Jersey plates all over the place. Yep. I said, these kids, this is the first SEC.
A lot of girls from the Northeast.
Yeah, it's the first SEC school south on 95, and I said, so these kids know, they come to Myrtle Beach and all that. I said, we can get kids, we can beat the Big Ten on some kids. Mm-hmm. I said, but we're only going to go try to get the good ones, the best. And Demir was the fastest high school senior in America. He won the national championship at the fastest 60 meters in the country.
What was it, high ass?
Huh?
Did you say he had a high ass?
High ass.
Was that the trait that you like to see?
Well, that's straight line. All those track guys, longer legged, because he wasn't big.
Yeah. No,
but oh man, could he roll, dude? And he was a great dude and a great kid, and he's one of my favorite kids.
Steeler?
Huh?
Steeler?
Oh, Steeler, yeah.
Throw it,
Bing,
all the hash.
Yeah,
as far as you can.
As far as you can. You can't, what I tell you, I know you think you're the greatest arm in the history of mankind. You cannot overthrow Demir Bird. Trust me.
I sure tried. I tried like hell.
And I remember when he caught one at Arkansas. We beat the shit out of Arkansas, 52-7 or whatever. And called Mills, and he runs up. He gives a little outside lean and runs it. And Connor dropped back, and I mean, and you can see it almost in his face. He's trying to throw it, and I mean, there was nothing better than when you hit Demir Bird on a post, or ace or in stride. I mean, it's like making a 30-foot putt. It's the greatest rush.
I was going to say something other than that, but
yeah, I hear you. Yeah, as you would.
Yeah,
but it's a that people forget about that whole thing, and that's when. And of course, I got tied up in the NCAA on that bullshit.
Yeah,
and for a text message, we had Blackberries back in those days, So back, they went back and forth. You could email kids from your phone, but you couldn't text them. Well, on the BlueBerry phone, you
all look the same.
You had one little text button, and you had some bullshit deal, and they're coming down for a 7-on-7, and I like checking on him. Hey, how you doing? To his dad or something, some bullshit. So we went through all that with Wesley Saunders in the Whitney Hotel, but he, those guys went through all that stuff, and he came down. We got it done. Everything was over, and he was coming, and it was down to the nitty gritty. I mean, Florida was offered him, Urban had recruited him down there, and he went down to camp, and I thought he was going to go to Florida for a minute. And he went down to camp and back in those super camps. And you remember, you only get, and he didn't get like all the reps that he wanted. And he called me that night and he said, I'm coming to Carolina. I'm going to commit. And so people forget the Alabama game, ironically, Clowney and Demir were on their official visit when we beat them that day.
Shit.
Yeah, you probably don't even remember that. Because I had to go. So I take them, and I take them college game days here, right, in the deal. So we're over there at the hotel, with all you knuckleheads over there, and we had pregame meal, and I got to go because you got to recruit on game day too.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, here we are playing the number one team, and I got, we got Demir and Clowney. So I come over, I take them down to the set, and they're there so they can see game day and all that and get fired up and all that kind of stuff and shit. And we end up whipping their ass, and both of them committed. And, we had the silent on, the whole deal and, the Clowney story. But
But that's got to be such an exhausting job. Recruiting on game day. You got to
Oh, it is.
deal with my ass on actual.
Yeah.
You got to play good.
Yeah.
And then you have to recruit the next guy to play good.
Yeah.
But that's a challenge. You got to, especially back then, because you didn't have. Now they have these departments with 35 guys that do all that.
You got G and
that's
M.
it.
Yeah.
Whereas we had
Shout out to Darren, by the way. Thank you for the tickets.
Yeah, we had to wear the whole hat. We had to wear many hats in that deal, and it was fun. I enjoyed it. I thought it was great, and the whole, when Clowney, Demir ended up he was running for America in Japan
Oh, that's right.
on
Yes.
that February,
Yes.
and we had to get a fax, and I had to give him the time and all this because the time changed, and I said, listen, you can't fax it before 7 a.m. Eastern time. It has to be in after that. So like at 7:04, boom, it came in, and we always used to bet. All the staff, we'd always bet,
Who's the first? Who's
no matter where I was coaching at, we'd always bet who would be the first guy in. And then if you were the last guy, you had to pick up the tab after the last guy got in, we finally got a couple days off.
Real quick, can I ask you?
Yeah.
Because I heard this. I don't know if it's. I want to dispel this rumor if it's a rumor or not. Did you get a bonus for recruits committed?
No.
No.
coaching staff standpoint?
Yeah,
I bet it's probably a thing.
It was
now.
a thing.
Oh,
there
yeah.
was guys, I know, I have buddies that were in the business.
I'm
No,
saying like officially, like if you got to commit.
no,
No. Okay.
no. I never got a penny for signing. I signed a shitload of
Shit,
kids.
you should have.
I
But
wonder,
it would have been nice.
I wonder if that's a thing now. I mean,
You had a. I mean, you
It used to be. There was certain coaches.
He was a best team recruiter.
Yeah, there was certain
Years?
certain coaches that would give you a little bonus, and I think it might have just come out of their pockets. But
Yeah.
again, you start doing that, and then you start just wanting to sign guys. Are they really good players? I mean, it's quality over quantity. I mean, it's like the year Ace came in. That was I signed 2 kids. It was Ace Sanders and Connor Shaw. Wow.
Connor.
Good job.
They were so and
Yeah,
I
thanks
said,
a lot,
okay,
man.
so I didn't sign 5
Yeah,
guys.
draw my
I didn't sign
size.
7 guys. But
2.
last time I checked,
top
they
tier.
were 2 pretty damn good players, and so that was, and all of our guys did a good job. I mean, that's why we won. I mean, we had good players.
Well, you made and I don't want to cut you off, but you made a good point yesterday, and you said Coach Spurrier took a pay cut to make sure all of
That was
staff-
right when we got here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he took a pay cut to make sure every single coach on our staff made 6 figures, which
Yeah.
is crazy because back then they were making
I know.
80 to 90, now they're
know.
making 500.
Exactly.
Yeah, inflation's a real thing, Steve. Come on.
Yeah, it's nuts. I mean,
So I got to get Bitcoin.
but Coach was all and he was always good like that.
He was a player's coach.
He wanted to make sure
Also-
everybody.
He's also
he was
the
also
cheapest
fan-
son.
Yeah, well, yeah, still got his 3rd grade lunch money, but he's
Yeah.
but he's awesome with it. Like and we just at Oyster Bar, and I met him over there and had 1 beer, and
I call bullshit.
he's no, I did. I had practice. I didn't have time, but I went, and they were going to dinner, he and Jerry, and so but you come over there and he's very good with that stuff. I mean. He makes the statements, and you guys call it. He's not cheap. He's just, he's think about that. Think about the generation though. My dad was the same way.
Yeah.
They had, those
You know
guys.
my dad. It did.
Yeah, those guys that were born back in those days. That's what they did. But he always cared about you guys, and and I always respect. That was one of the things I learned young, coaching for him and playing for him. Is that it was always going to be about the players, and he was going to make sure that you as a player got taken care of.
I wish I would have realized that. at my older age, I see it now. But
Yeah, sure.
Back then, I was like, God, this guy's a
I know,
prick, man.
I know. Well,
Get off
depending
my
on
back.
yeah, and you played the you're in the unique, so am I. I mean, we all play. We all play. All the guys. I mean, even guys that before I got hired here. I've gotten to know some of those guys that
Probably
played.
the same heartaches.
Yeah, and they sit there and go, man, and I'm going, I get it, dude. I get it, man.
I was there.
I said, but it's not because he didn't care. You know what I mean?
he
I mean,
cared-
deep
he cared
down,
a
he
lot.
cared. He cared a lot, and then you guys all get that now, and it's easy when you're young and you're getting your ass ripped. It's But I mean, hell, I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't love you guys and enjoy our relationship back then, and the fact that we're friends and can have a beer together now that's why I do it. That's why I did it in the first place.
Tailgate Talks is powered by Lanier & Burroughs, South Carolina's premier accident attorneys.
If you've been in a truck wreck, car crash, slip and fall, or suffered injury on the job, these guys have the experience to fight for the compensation you deserve. Founding partner Louis Lanier has been battling for South Carolina since 1974, and Shane Burrows brings over 15 years of top-rated trial experience. Best part? They're Gamecocks, and they offer a free initial consultation and will come to you. Give them a call at 803-268-9800 or visit landblawfirm.com. Lanier and Burrows, fierce advocates, local roots, proven results.
Home Team Barbecue is fired up to take care of your tailgate and watch party needs this season. Home Team is known for its smoked meats, creative daily specials, and twists on Southern classic. Smoked wings, ribs, pulled pork sliders, barbecue nachos, or classic sides like mac and cheese and collard greens are the perfect feast to fuel your game day. Round up your friends and give Home Team Catering a shout at catering@hometeambarbecue.com or head to 5 Points for a frozen game changer cocktail and barbecue snacks to celebrate the next Gamecocks big win. Visit hometeambarbecue.com to check out the menu.
Tailgate Talks is brought to you by JCQ Farms, a proud South Carolina family farm rooted in tradition and built on quality. Whether it's their premium beef, farm fresh produce, or their signature smoked meats, JCQ Farms brings the taste of the South straight to your table. Perfect for your next tailgate, backyard barbecue, or family dinner. Remember, always support your American farms because they are drying out each day. Support local, eat better, and stock up for the season. JCQ Farms, where quality meets Carolina pride.
Gamecock Nation, it's time to elevate your outdoor space. Palm Casual Outdoor Furniture, Gamecock owned and operated, has you covered with locations all across South Carolina. Whether you're poolside, tailgating, or watching the Gamecocks dominate in your backyard, Palm Casual has the perfect setup for you. Visit them online at palmcasual.com and gear up for a fall filled with Gamecock victories. Cheers to a winning season from the DeMarco back porch, proudly furnished by Palm Casual. What was the dynamic of that 2010 staff? Like obviously Coach, you, Junior, Coach Elliott, Jeep Hunter,
Wolford.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
there
Wolford
in
had
10.
just left.
Yeah.
He was. We came in together,
Yeah.
and then we got with Sean Kane.
Sean was-
after
then it
Eric
was-
took the Youngstown State.
That's right. The head.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Sean came in from Matt the next year.
Yeah. You got
Beam,
Whammy,
Beamer, and
Ellis.
Ellis, Brad Loing.
There's a lot of great coaches in this staff.
Yeah, I mean,
Incredible.
Brad, God rest his soul.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's the best D-line coach I've ever been around. I've been around a lot of good ones. He was about.
So we had Travian on the podcast, and I went to Jay's Corner and had a couple beers with him afterwards.
Contributed everything
Yeah.
to his
Literally
day
everything.
now.
Oh yeah,
Coaching.
yeah. No,
He's
he
like,
was awesome.
He's like, I wouldn't be where I'm at now without.
No, he was a good one, man. And those guys all, me and Clifton talked about it a little bit Friday night, he was really good. And Ellis was good. I mean, it was just, and I tell you what,
Well, you had a blend of like young staff.
It
old
was.
staff,
It was.
like,
You had
was
the
a
old
good
veterans, and
hybrid.
you had the influx. Like when Coach hired me, he's like, "Yeah, you running that speed option stuff and doing some tempo and all that." So it was an influx of new stuff.
A lot of flipper.
Yeah, it was.
Menu one.
Yeah.
What? Menu one, Garcia. God. Okay.
Yeah, the menu.
Hey, Coach, relax.
And I know you
Relax.
hated it because that actually required you to memorize some shit. And by the way, we're doing menu. I have a 16-year-old that has the
it
whole
works.
menu right now. Yeah,
It works.
Well, and if you're going to go fast, it's
Yeah.
you're learning a concept. And again, that's how to teach. I believe that's how to teach it. And you guys all learned it, and it was fun, and it was good, and
It's successful. It works.
Yeah.
and so it was. It was good. That staff was. We all had fun together. I tell people all the time that run through from 09, even though we didn't have the most successful year in 09, it wasn't the greatest, but it was
It was a stepping stone.
you
It
could
was.
see it. Yeah,
No
you could
doubt.
see it setting, and you guys, and again,
You could feel it.
our best players were our best leaders too.
Yep.
It made it very easy. I think I told you that yesterday. It was that got taken out of our hands as coaches, and that made it a lot easier.
Well, Pat talks about it all the time. It's like we had a locker room of guys that actually gave a shit.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It
You
helps.
like I tell these guys over here at BC now, I sit there and go, man, if you'd pulled that years ago, I said somebody would have beaten your ass in the South Carolina locker room. They wouldn't put up with that.
Yeah.
I said, you guys are sitting around, you older guys that are putting up with that, that's embarrassing.
So,
you know?
yeah.
And so that it was just good. You know, you had, you know, like again in 09, you were the old
The
head.
old fart.
We had, who else was the old guys on that one?
Cliff Matthews. Cliff Matthews was in
Oh
the
yeah,
league.
Cliff and
Travian, I mean,
and
all those
Travian
guys, yeah.
and all those guys on defense and Rodney.
Yeah,
And
Paul,
Rodney Paulk was
Rocked it up.
was an awesome leader, even though he was playing on, you know, a leg and a half basically back in those days. But God bless him. He was a good player. I mean, even on one leg, but he was a great leader.
Strong
And
psycho, too.
yeah, he was.
But I mean, those guys gave a shit, and you could feel that in the locker room. You understand that. It's like, all right,
it's a good vibe, man. That's getting back to your question. I know it's a long answer, but it was the staff, the dynamics of the staff. Everybody got along. Everybody was a good coach in their, you know, whatever their specific deal was, and we had a lot of fun together.
And you guys had like family night, right? What was it, Wednesday or
Every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
That's always been a
Bring your
coach. You know,
kids around it, yeah.
Coach and Jerry, and that's a Jerry thing. I mean, that's very important to Jerry, and as you know, we're all, you know, Jerry's like our second mother, and has been. She's been my second mom for shit since 1990. I mean, I'll do the math, and whatever that is. You know, I mean, my parents were, you know, got to know, you know, it was just great, you know,
But players do tend to take on the personalities of their coaches. And I
of
think
course.
there was a good blend of that too.
Yeah.
Of, say, you know, Jeep Hunter, like his room was able to be light and easy and fun, a little more lighthearted than other rooms, where like Ellis Johnson's room was like butt puckered up tight.
Yeah.
Very like ready to go at all time. But we were the same way, right? Like we worked hard, we partied hard, we held each other accountable.
Absolutely.
Like if somebody
But that's what
screwed
it's
up,
all about, isn't it? I mean, the best team, I've never been around, like my Del Val teams when I was a head coach, and my quarterback came in, Adam Knobloch, who's one of my favorite players. He's like you know, I put you guys are all, like, I've been very fortunate to coach a lot of great.
Pat says we have a very hard hedge quarterbacks. Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
says we beat the, what is it? You beat your own drum or something like that?
Well, it's called, well, it's also, you just got to, it's
Well,
called
you're a special.
It's called narcissism. You know, and your level of narcissism needed to come down, you know, a little
Damn,
bit.
man.
Which it did.
You sound like my wife.
No, I'm not, yeah. But you know, it's, these guys would sit there and I was 2-8 my first year as a head coach, and then we went 33-4. I knew, like the 09 season, I knew that first year because of Adam, and I could see it with the young kids. We're going to be really good.
Yep.
Right.
And these guys get it, and they used to go out and campfire, and they drink beer, and they'd party together, and that's how it starts, you know. And that's okay as long as you're not out being a clown. You know, there's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, we talk about it all the time. It's like we were such a tight knit group. It wasn't just me and Pat hanging out.
No.
We had Melvin. We had the kickers. We had everybody. Hey man, we're doing a cookout. Come by.
Absolutely.
Bring whoever you want.
And that's the fun of it, and that's how you gel a football team. And you guys were, you know, for all the things that people may say and do all that about the, you know, parties and this and that, you know, at the end of the day, you were bringing a football team close together. You guys were instrumental in that, and I appreciate that as a coach for sure, because I know how far that went in the locker room.
Well, and it's hard for you guys to govern, and you don't want to over coach and be the hover parent as a coach. You don't want to have to be too overly sensitive and too involved.
Yeah.
Where you want to be able to be like, hey, did so-and-so really do this?
Right.
And you're like, go handle it.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
And that way you don't have to.
And you know, and it was very professional with coach's background, with having been in the NFL so long. You know, we you know, the way we practiced and took care of each other, and he always would talk about, you know, don't hit your teammate. You know, you get mad. But we practiced, we stayed up, you know, it was all about learning how to practice. Like, and you being in the NFL for so long, you get it, right? But that's how we practice in college. I mean, we were very much an NFL type practice.
I think Connie practiced against the ones one time.
Yeah, remember we started that little period where we'd go good on good for like eight snaps, and just for the competitive.
I took a 3-step drop. I think it was menu 5. Took a 3-step drop, curl flat read.
Who?
There. Screw your. He's all right. That's it. Connie, you're done. You don't need to practice anymore.
We can't block you.
Yeah, that was it wasn't scheme. It was just he just beat our ass. He just came around the corner, you know. when he decided. But that was a those were special times, and we had a lot of good players, but you guys protected each other, and it's because you guys were tight in the locker room.
Yeah. Who was the most special talent player you ever had on a team? Like, if there's one dude that you were like, he changed everything. I mean, other than Pat DeMarco.
Yeah, other than us, clearly.
Just sheer. I tell you what, Melvin is right there at the top.
Yeah.
I mentioned to him yesterday. It was so good. I'd seen him in a while. My niece ran into him in Charlotte. Is he living in Charlotte still?
Charlotte and Miami.
Yeah. And my niece ran into him. She was doing some business with ADP or something with him, and they FaceTimed me. So I hadn't seen him in a while, but
She was doing business with YPC? No.
ADP.
I know. Young paper chasers?
But people forget, like, if we were even as good an arm as you had, and Connor and all that, if we were ever in a, and you'll remember this, we were ever like at our own 40-yard line, and we had to get a 70-yard pass. No. Remember?
Yeah.
Georgia.
Put him way back there, and you'd take it and then shoot it out to him, and he would throw the Hail Mary.
So before you guys got here, we talked about this.
Yes.
And I wanted to bring this up.
Yeah.
Playing in Athens, right before halftime, we called that play.
Yeah.
I didn't throw it to him. I ended up scrambling to the right and threw a touchdown to Alshon. And I'm over there like, yeah, let's go.
Is this 2011?
Yeah. No. Yeah, it was 11.
Yeah, it was 11.
It was 11.
Is that where we lost at the end?
No, we won.
No, this is the one where...
Oh, no, that's right.
Melvin
You're right.
had the
You're
punt
right.
return,
Yeah,
yeah.
Melvin had the fake punt.
I came off the sideline. I'm giddy. I'm happy as shit to a dart. And you ripped my ass. You're like, why the f*** didn't you throw to Melvin? He's supposed to do it. Hey, coach, relax.
7 points is good.
Really, yeah, it was. Well, after the fact,
he
it
threw
made
the
me
ball
calm.
80 yards. I mean, it's...
And it was incredible. I mean, that's what I'm saying, just as sheer athleticism. And Brad used to tell me, I remember and Coach Spurrier, one of his, people ask me a lot of times, like, what's Steve Spurrier's best attribute? Mm-hmm. His ability to see athletes' ability before anybody else sees it is always been remarkable. Mm-hmm. And so when he hired me in 2009, and we used to sit there and he said, hell, I'm telling Brad Loing, he said, you better start playing him or I'm going to move in offense. And you remember, I put him on, I said, Chip Melville, I throw it to you and put him in tight end and fullback and in the goal line stuff and R&L stuff down there in the goal line. And Coach was right. I mean, he was another one. He just had that vision. He knew how good a player he was. And Brad sat there, and he was a quarterback when he was a freshman up there at the high school in North Carolina. Then he
He's a running back.
Then he was a running back. Then he went to running back and linebacker, and then he kind of grew into that outside backer hybrid, whatever. Right. I mean, we used him in so many ways, And as freaks go, I mean, he was one that did, like, obviously Clowney was at that position,
number one overall,
right?
And his, I tell people all the time, I said his highlight tape. I think it's play 4, if my memory serves. He actually was playing running back at South Point and took a outside zone. He was playing running back, 96, 97-yard touchdown.
And there was nobody in the frame, right?
And he goes out, he runs, and he comes up, and this poor safety, I don't even know who this kid, York or something, he came up, and I mean, he just went, boom! I mean, just bitch slapped him and threw him in the ground, and then ran 60 yards for a touchdown. I said, forget playing DN. That was the most impressive of his highlight tape, and he can probably still pull it up. But in terms of just sheer athleticism and being able to play that many positions, it's hard for me to find somebody more than Melvin.
Well, Melvin came in as a linebacker, played 3 tech, went to nose guard, played DN, had some snaps at running back, fullback, tight end, had quarterback plays. I mean, he's probably the only guy in Gamecock history that had.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard.
Positions.
At South Carolina for sure. I was part of recruiting when I was a GA year right before I left and took a job and moved up north. Javon Curse was but he was probably the very first version. But I had teammates. I mean, Godfrey Miles, God rest his soul, played for the Cowboys. He was the first guy I ever saw that was like 6'3", 250 pounds and ran sub 4.4. Ran
Yep.
4.38. I saw it pop up on the screen. I was like, what the hell am I getting myself into? Yeah. I mean, I'd never seen anything like. He was from Miami, and so, you know, they're out there. You played. I mean, you saw a million of them in the league, and but you had Melvin, and you know, Melvin's such a good dude too. You know, it's
Melvin,
just
I think,
fun.
won $500 from a guy on our team after, you know, we did the walkthrough on Friday. I bet you $500 I can throw a football from my knee through the goalpost. Guy's like, no way. That's a 65-yard ball in the air.
Yep.
It's like 500. Deal.
And he could do it. Unquote.
Three. I was
Yeah,
like,
it was
my
insane,
God.
man. He was. His athleticism's off the charts. I mean, that's
I'll
truly
never
a
forget like hearing the thud of Pat and Melvin doing inside drill.
I used to.
I hated doing inside drill,
Yeah.
hand the ball off, and
You just felt bad
having
for me.
Pat just like, I'm like, God,
Well, Melvin was at the point.
I can't be good.
Yeah, Melvin was at the point because he was scout team, wasn't playing much
Right,
early on in
right, I
Carolina,
know.
where he was just like, I'm going to try to kill somebody. I don't care about making a play. I'm just going to try to kill somebody and embarrass you.
Yeah, it was interesting, man.
I'm like, can he go with the twos, please?
Yeah, well, that was a good thing. You only had to do that for a little while. You never lasted 10 years in the league.
Yeah.
But he was something else, man.
Yeah.
He really was. And like I said, he's just a wonderful guy.
All right, last thing, because I know we got to wrap up here soon. Obviously, there's a lot of differences between Stephen and Connor, but nobody knows them as well as you do. Talk about the two differences of them, how it was coaching them, kind of the different dynamic, having them both in the same room, and then Stephen leaving and then watching Connor kind of take off.
Well, he doesn't know this, but I actually have one of his, you know, I give them all a 3-ring binder, a little notebook.
Oh, yeah.
And they, you know, write down, and you know, Coach did that when I was around. And more you write it down, the more you retain it,
which is true.
And so, you know, there were many times in meeting rooms when I'd have to, you know, we could only have meetings for like 30 minutes because he had the attention span of the common pissant. So he would, he'd get this notebook, and I remember, you remember this? And I still have it, by the way. If you need proof, I'm going to bring it. I saved it. I have a Garcia file. It's awesome. And I love him. And you know I love this guy more than anything.
Here we go. All right, let's ride.
So one time I kind of looked up and I was drawing probably menus up on the deal and explaining, you know, here's the coverage, we want this, and here, blah, blah, blah. And I looked back and he, you know, something. And it was right after he had Memphis. Okay. And I think my direct quote was, Garcia, there's really something wrong, the fact that me and you have a child the same age. Okay, that probably is not supposed to happen, but it is, and it's happened, it's real. So he draws on this thing, and I still have it. And he sketching this thing, and it was because Memphis is from Happy Feet, right?
Yeah.
And so it was like Happy Feet. And he's gone off into Happy Feet now, and he's sketching. And it's my fault because that's why I said, no, this is my fault. I made the meeting go too damn long. The meeting's too damn long, and that's my fault. That's not Garcia's fault. He's gone off into the fifth dimension, and so I still have that, and I laugh my ass off. When I need a good laugh, I just get that because it's awesome, dude. I love
That's incredible.
I'm not mad at you. I just think it was awesome that it was, but that's the way
Coach,
it was.
I know the menus. I don't need
Whereas Connor, we write everything down. He's the nerd, right? He's gonna write everything down. But he played, you know, his dad was a coach. He was all that. But I sell this all the time. I said, you had Dylan in there as a youngster, and he was just learning. He was very much a young pup. And he's watching these two guys, and, you know, and but
he's like, which one do I want to do?
Yeah, exactly. Like, well, wait a second now. This is like,
got the devil, like an angel.
Like, do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Sketch penguins or
And so it was and Seth and I talk about it all the time. I mean, what a fun room. We had a very, very fortunate, I was fortunate to run the room, but to have the guys in it's what made it special. And like I said, they got along, but you say you hated Connor and Connor hated you. That hate's too strong.
Hate's a strong word, yeah.
But you guys were so competitive, yet you still got along and you made each other so much better.
No doubt.
You know, if who knows how everything would have worked out in the way it kind of went at the end. Who knows? It was one of those deals. I blame a lot of stuff with some of the stuff that happened to you. A lot of it had to do with what the university did that last year. I think that's bull. And I'll be glad to tell any of them if they want to say it. It was bull. Making you with all that stuff, and that put undue pressure on you. You didn't need all that stuff. That being said, you guys had attributes. You were a winner. You were a competitor. You were a gamer, what I call a gamer, Mm-hmm. And people don't realize this. Danny Werfel, when he was down there, and Coach verified this. Danny Werfel used to have a little hitch in his giddy up during the week, and for some reason on game day, it just went away.
Yep.
It's unbelievable. So some guys just do things on game day that are a little better. Connor could do it every day, all the time,
which was so annoying. God, it was so annoying.
Yeah. I can imagine.
At least one time.
I know it is. But
You're
was
making me look like a dipshit.
But you guys were special players. You're in the annals of this place forever, and deservedly so, both of you. He had to have all that stuff at his size. You were so naturally gifted, talented, that you could get away with some things that he couldn't get away with, because of your size and your strength and all that kind of stuff. But he was a littler dude. So he had to, but his intangibles were really good. Your intangibles on game day were really good. Yeah. I mean, it was, like I said, that Florida game, people forget, and everybody talks about how, Marcus had the over 200 yards rushing. Yeah. But you played an incredible game that day in the swamp. You really did. I mean, we ran the mesh one time, and you dropped back, and you stuck that foot in the ground and hit Torrey on a mesh. Mm-hmm. It should have been a sack, but you stuck it in the ground and popped it on him, and we were in Cinco. Oh yeah, hell yeah, that's what I mean, under duress, and you had gotten your ass kicked so much early before I'd gotten here. Watching the film and everything, you're getting, so it's a confidence thing. Yeah, and so I had to build your confidence up. Yep. Connor had it coming out just because he had a quiet confidence about it. He wasn't a dick. Yeah. He was just a quiet confidence. But off the field, people think Connor was a church boy. Let me tell you something. I had eyes all over this town. Whereas he'd be on top of the table at the Village Idiot.
He's in the back corner.
Matter of fact, you remember when I nicknamed you? I just used to call you the Village Idiot. And you'd get up on the table. Connor was in the back of the Village Idiot too, going out. And I used to sit and I remember I probably still have the text message, and I'd say, "Don't think I don't know you're in there at 1:30 at night." So he had a little orneriness to him, which was also why he was a good player. Both of you were ornery. Yep. Your level of narcissism was a little higher than his, but that's okay. That's also what made you who you are, and what made you a good player. Yeah. So it was you guys were, while you were very different to the persona on the outside, there was actually, you guys had a lot more similarities than Team Unique, man. Hashtag unique. I'm in now. I got it. I'm gonna start jumping on it, man.
I'm gonna start tagging all those things.
Good times, man. It was good times. You guys are awesome, man.
It was the best times, honestly. It was something I'll never forget.
I love you guys, man.
4 years, awesome. 4 years of our life, but are gonna impact forever. It's gonna be it's always gonna be a part of us. The relationships you build, the people you meet. Columbia, South Carolina, just in general. If I were thinking 1,000 years I would live back in Columbia, South Carolina, no. Oh my God, I am. Yes.
Me neither. I mean, all these years. It's been 10 years since I coached my last down here at the university. And
I never thought I'd ever be welcome back here. No.
Well,
I didn't want to come back.
Yeah, no. Well, we're glad you are. Man, we're glad you are, though. Everybody
I was full of piss and vinegar.
No, I know. But everybody's glad you're back. And again, you got to grow up, and everybody grows up. Not saying you need to grow up that way. No, just saying as you grow up, you start realizing, you just gotta forgive a lot of stuff. It ain't worth it.
What's important in life, right?
And this is what's important.
And that's one
to
thing.
Me, it is.
That's probably Coach Burr's best advice he's ever given me. He's like, time heals all.
Yeah, it does.
And it does. It does.
And it was a special day, yesterday, because again, he just turned 80 in April, and I'm hoping next year, and I got to talk to him about it, but next year, 2026 will be now I'm dating myself big. We won the first ever SEC championship my senior year at Florida in 91.
Yep.
No, 91. We won the SEC championship.
96
First time official, because of the 84 one was
35
unofficial
years,
because of the probation. So we'll have a 35-year reunion in 2026. And
awesome.
and I haven't been back. I haven't been back to Florida since
We beat them.
we beat them. I mean, seriously,
You're missing
since
out.
the last time I've been
Both
to
y'all
a
are
game.
missing out, man.
Since I've been to a game,
Florida's
so
tough to beat.
I hope to be able to go get with a bunch of my teammates like you guys just got to do this weekend next year.
Well, that's
that's
what's
what
so-
makes it special.
That's what's been so cool. Like when Pat texted me, that was 2.5 years ago. He's like, I want to do a podcast. I think you'd be fantastic. I'll be the structure guy. You be the KS guy.
Yeah.
He might be regretting it now. I'm sure Dakota.
Once
No,
a
actually-
week. Once a week.
Actually, we'll do one. We're going to do one on conspiracy theories come true next time.
They all do.
All right. We'll
All conspiracies.
we'll do it because I love when people reach out to me on Twitter and bust my balls and stuff. It's great.
You're
It's the
a
best.
grey follow on Twitter.
It's the best, man.
It's amazing.
That's fun.
Let me ask you this: do you have any intentions of getting back into college coaching, or
It's a good question. I get asked a lot, and I've had chances. I go to the convention every year, and I've had chances. It's different now. You can hire basically. It's like the Pro Bowl. You can hire as many coaches as you want to hire. I have really enjoyed coaching high school because of all of the.
Yeah.
There's no NIL. There's no, at least in South Carolina, I know it exists in some places.
Florida?
But I still get to, it's still a development, and kids want to learn how to be better players and better kids. And that's what I like. That's how I got into the business. It's going to have to clean up. I got so in, I would go back to the UFL, whatever it is now. I would if they would expand, I had a chance to go with Terrell Buckley, Orlando, when they did the combined the USFL. Orlando didn't get picked, which was a little weird. I thought Orlando was, but he was. I had a discussion with him about coming down there and calling it for him and that, and I would jump at the chance to do that again. Nice thing, I could actually do that in the spring and still coach high school football in the fall. So
High school football is its purest form of football.
no, it is, and I've enjoyed that. I never did it, and I was turning 50 years old. I never coached down to high school football. So it's been a lot of. It's been very rewarding. I like it. I've had fun doing it. I enjoy that age group. I can still relate to those kids and bust their stones but like being out there with you guys yesterday on the sidelines. I mean, there's nothing quite like that vibe on a Saturday afternoon. People ask me all the time, and I don't miss the recruiting of today. And I got my buddies that are doing it, and they're miserable except every other Friday when they're getting paid. Which is sad because that's not why we took the jobs back when we were we talked. We didn't make 6 figs. Mike Leach, was a good buddy. And we used to sit there and talk. We nicknamed him 6 Figs because we all used to sit there and drink beer at the convention and go, God, one of these days, wouldn't that be awesome if we ever got paid 6 figs coaching football? It'd be great, And he got the job with Stoops out there in Oklahoma back in the day as the OC, and we started calling him 6 Figs. But some things, something has to change. I think it is. It's unsustainable the way it's going, and I hate for something bad to happen. Just an event, an issue, and it's just getting so insane and wild west that somebody who's running it. The NCAA doesn't run shit. Nobody even knows who they are. I mean,
Deeping off on everybody else, it's y'all's problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So is it commissioners? Who's running it? Well, there has to be somebody has to become the czar of college football, and we got to get back to, if that's what they want to do. If you want to be pro football, be pro football. Right. And if that's the case, then I would love to go do that again.
I could only imagine getting NIL money and telling you to relax.
That's what I mean.
It would have pissed him off even more.
That's what I'm saying. I can't do, if you'd have come in and sat there and said, Mangus, look, listen, I need 50 more grand or I'm hauling ass to Ole Miss.
Right.
I'd have told you to kiss my narrow ass and get the hell out of here. I'll go recruit somebody else. I mean, seriously. And I recognize that. That's why I do what I do now. Yeah. I can't.
I'm not gonna
That's a
conform.
bad environment.
You
I
are who
would
you
be
are.
a bad human. I don't want to do that, man. I'm a good dude, and I don't want to become that, and have to negotiate with. I told Clifton Gathers, we were talking at Steel Hands, and I said, I don't negotiate financially with 17-year-olds. That's not why I got in this business,
Yep.
and I'm not going to do it. That's why you guys in the pros, you deal with the player personnel department.
Yep.
I just like to coach and develop. That's
I
what
do
I'm
not
going to do.
negotiate with terrorists. Now
Yeah.
watch this drive.
Well,
So anyway,
you're one of the best. We love you.
yeah, love you,
Cheers.
man.
Thank you, brother.
love you guys.
Cheers, man.
Cheers. Love you guys.
Do one more.
Nostrovia.
Let's do it again.
Little nightcap.
We'll do it again. Proud of you guys. You've done well.
Absolutely.